vciso-au Cyberwatch, July 9, 2025. Strategic Cybersecurity Intelligence Brief, powered by vciso-au. Stay informed, stay prepared, stay secure. Ensure your cybersecurity program is both proactive and verifiable. By Anil Yelamati. 1. ANZ in News, no new ANZ incidents. 2. Microsoft Patch. Tuesday for July 2025, fixes a zero-day vulnerability. Microsoft's latest patch Tuesday for July 2025 addressed a significant 130 vulnerabilities across its ecosystem, affecting Windows, Office, Azure, Teams, Hyper-V, BitLocker, Microsoft Edge, and more. Of these, 10 are rated critical, including a publicly disclosed zero-day vulnerability in Microsoft SQL Server. CVE 2025-49719 is an information disclosure flaw that lets unauthenticated attackers access uninitialized memory due to faulty input validation. The attack does not require user interaction, raising concerns for exposed environments. Microsoft recommends immediate updates to SQL Server and OLEDB drivers. Another serious flaw, CVE 2025-47981, is a wormable remote code execution (RCE) issue in Windows SPNIGO NegoX that can be triggered with a malicious message, bypassing user interaction. Additionally, Microsoft Office is affected again by a preview pane vulnerability, CVE 2025-49695, marking 3 consecutive months of critical bugs affecting Office LTSC. Office for Mac remains unpatched, and Microsoft urges users to disable the preview pane until fixes are delivered. Rapid exploitation is expected in the wild within weeks of release. These recurring vulnerabilities underscore the ongoing challenge in securing legacy software and commonly used tools. vciso-au recommends patch management must be prioritized through automated systems with rollback capability. Disable vulnerable features like Preview Pane, where applicable, and conduct external surface scans to identify unpatched SQL Server instances. 3. CISA adds widely exploited flaws to known exploited vulnerabilities catalog. The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, has updated its known exploited vulnerabilities (KEV) catalog with serious flaws from MRLG, PHP Mailer, Ruby on Rails, and Zimbra Collaboration Suite. CVE 2014-3931 impacts MRLG and allows remote attackers to overwrite arbitrary memory, leading to corruption. CVE 2016-133, a critical bug in PHP Mailer, permits command injection via crafted email headers, potentially giving attackers full control of web applications. CVE 2019-5418 in Ruby on Rails enables attackers to disclose files like etc. passwd through manipulated HTTP headers. Meanwhile, CVE 2019-9621 targets older Zimbra versions, allowing server-side request forgery, SSRF, and potentially internal network access. These vulnerabilities span several years and highlight the persistent threat posed by legacy software and inadequate patching. The inclusion in the KEV list signals active exploitation and mandates urgent mitigation across federal systems and private sector environments alike. vciso-au recommends conduct a full inventory of software libraries and applications in use. Legacy applications must be upgraded or decommissioned. Integrate threat intelligence feeds into SIEMs and scan for KEV entries across your stack. 4. Microsoft SQL Server. Zero-day exposes sensitive network data. A newly disclosed information disclosure vulnerability in Microsoft SQL Server, labeled CVE 2025-49719, allows remote attackers to access sensitive memory contents without authentication. This flaw stems from improper input validation and is categorized under CWE 20. Attackers could retrieve data such as credentials, connection strings, or other confidential memory structures by exploiting this weakness. This vulnerability poses heightened risks in enterprise settings, where SQL servers manage large volumes of mission-critical data. Microsoft has assigned it a CVSS score of 7.5, with a potential temporal score of 6.5, emphasizing its relevance. Although not a remote code execution issue, the possibility of sensitive information leakage should not be underestimated. In data-rich environments, even information disclosure vulnerabilities can be stepping stones to privilege escalation or lateral movement if not swiftly addressed. vciso-au recommends enforce strict access control policies around SQL services, conduct memory analysis post-patching to detect potential data leakage, and implement WAF rules to block malformed queries. 5. M&S ransomware breach triggered by social engineering. UK-based retailer M&S has confirmed that a ransomware breach stemmed from a sophisticated social engineering attack. During testimony before the UK Parliament, Chairman Archie Norman revealed that the intrusion was made possible through impersonation of a company worker. Attackers exploited this vector to trick a third party into resetting an employee's credentials. This breach eventually led to the deployment of DragonForce ransomware across M&S systems. While details remain sparse, the incident highlights the effectiveness of impersonation-based threats, especially when paired with inadequate third-party controls. As retailers manage vast customer and vendor ecosystems, any weakness in identity verification procedures can prove catastrophic. This is a textbook case of a non-technical attack leading to a highly technical breach. Human factors continue to be the weakest link in cybersecurity, and adversaries are capitalizing on this through increasingly believable tactics. vciso-au recommends regularly train staff in social engineering awareness. Implement multi-factor authentication for all sensitive actions, especially password resets. Vet third-party processes that impact internal account security. 6. Microsoft July patch. Tuesday fixes 137 vulnerabilities, including a zero-day. Microsoft's July 2025 Patch Tuesday includes fixes for 137 vulnerabilities, with one zero-day disclosed publicly. The security update addresses a broad range of issues: 53 elevation of privilege, 41 remote code execution, 18 information disclosure, and other flaws such as security feature bypass and denial of service. Among the most critical patches are RCE vulnerabilities in key Windows services and side-channel attacks on AMD CPUs. 10 of the remote code execution bugs are rated critical and could allow attackers to take full control of affected systems without user interaction. Microsoft also resolved previously unpatched issues in Mariner and Microsoft Edge earlier in the month. The size and scope of these updates underline the scale of the current threat landscape and the continued pressure on system administrators to stay ahead. Attackers actively target known vulnerabilities within days of disclosure, compressing the patch-to-exploit timeline significantly. vciso-au recommends prioritize critical and zero-day patch deployment within 72 hours. Use vulnerability scanners to verify applied patches and implement compensating controls until full remediation is complete. 7. Splunk SOAR, found using vulnerable open-source components. Splunk has issued a high-priority advisory warning that its SOAR, security orchestration, automation, and response platform, was bundling outdated and vulnerable third-party components. Versions 6.4.0 and 6.4.1 are affected, with known exploits present in popular libraries such as Babel Traverse, which suffers from prototype pollution that can lead to arbitrary code execution. Because SOAR systems are deeply integrated with security playbooks and often run without human oversight, the risk of silent exploitation is significant. Exploits could be triggered via Git-based automation or poisoned dependency chains. Splunk has responded by updating to secure versions and urges all customers to upgrade immediately. This incident reiterates the growing concern around software supply chain risks and the criticality of monitoring dependency health within even security products. It also stresses the importance of maintaining an SBOM, software bill of materials, to track and verify each component's integrity. vciso-au recommends adopt SBOM practices and monitor third-party dependencies with automated tooling. Implement zero-trust principles within SOAR workflows and restrict outbound access from automation engines. 8. Ransomware exposure list. Last 24 hours Brazil. BR. Faria Braga, Advogados Associados. Anileia, Canada. CA. DOAC Sheriff Lawyers, United States. US. UPG Enterprises. Snap AV. Residio. WFMT. Wood, Patel and Associates. Tyree Oil. Milberg. Florida Hand Center. The Providence Warwick Convention. Pilot Thomas Logistics Hong Kong. HK. Mitachi. HK Company Limited Dominican Republic. DO. Initia Iran. IR. Iran International Thailand. TH. Assumed based on Bangkok mention. Big Silver South Africa. ZA. Mafati Business Enterprise Puerto Rico. PR. University of Puerto Rico. Rio Piedras Campus China. CN. Farmaron.com. Final note from vciso-au. Australia and New Zealand remain relatively untouched this week, but the global threat landscape continues to shift. Critical infrastructure, software supply chains, and endpoint security are under siege. Ensure your cybersecurity program is both proactive and verifiable by Anil Yelamati.